Okay, sure. So, I was single for a long time. Right? Like, we're gonna have a... No, why'd I go here? I wanna go the other one. We're gonna have a heart-to-heart right here. Did I give 3 months to Mabu? I think I did, but there's an extra kiss. I wanna give another look at it. Another look into the world. 1 socket, fire res 10. I like that more. I like that more. So I dated people for some time, doing the dates thing, right? And I dated people back in college and high school, and usually I was dating somebody. Now he doesn't say kiss anymore. That's sad. That's sad. And at first, it was very sad, right? When I had my breakup, it was very sad because I was like, oh my gosh, now you know being single sucks, right? Because I hated being single. It was awful. But then, after a while, I started to realize, and I was like, well, I can either go back to dating somebody, or I can get myself in a place where I don't feel the need to even have to go back to dating somebody, where I can just improve myself and make myself a happier person. And so that's what I did, right? That's where I started changing things up, and I started trying new things and all of these. We are just beating monsters to death right now with this club, by the way. Just pounding them. Wham! And it was hard. And for a while, there were many times where I was like, this is dumb. Maybe I should just date somebody. But at the end of the day, every time I'd think about that, I'd go, I should just give it a shot. You know? Just gotta give it a shot. So that's what I did. I kept trying it. I kept pushing it. And it ended up working out nicely, because a year and a half later, I was sitting there one day and I thought, you know, if I end up single, I'll be okay with that, because I am very happy with who I am and the time that I spend by myself, and how I've learned to push myself and try new things and everything like that. And it was uncomfortable, and it was difficult at times for sure, and sometimes it was lonely. But eventually, I found a satisfaction with who I was. And once I did that, everything became better. And then I no longer felt like I needed to date anybody. And it's funny because when you start to get to that point, you're not as looking as whatever. I think it changes how you look to others as well. Because at that point, that's when more people started becoming interested in me. It was then, not all the other time before, when I was probably more interested. You know, I would have been more interested in it, whatever. So it's you know, because then when you make yourself a better, happier person, people want to be around that. So I was playing hard to get. Yeah, that's the moral. But it was really nice. It was really nice to have a thought, and because I'm getting older, and it's scary getting older. But I went, if I end up single in life, I'll be just fine. I will have a ton of fun still. And yeah. And so that also puts no pressure, right? It makes it so it's just no pressure going forward. If I find something, it doesn't work out, no pressure. You know, that's it. So I can truly evaluate as opposed to going, ah, crap, I'm getting old. Gotta find an old ball and chain now or whatever, you know. Hey, Houdini, how are you? You're attending engineering school, there's very few girls. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to branch out a little bit. Go try new things. Because you're not gonna find many of them in the there. Dang, that was I didn't even look at what we had there. Let's do that number. Go hang out in some tunnels, sure. It's kind of hard to market myself when no one... Don't market yourself. Go live the life that you want to live. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying go put yourself on a market here. I'm saying go do what you want to do in life. Whatever makes you happy. Me? That's going skiing. That's streaming. That's, you know, playing board games. It's going and playing it on a soccer team. Whatever it is, go do the things that you want to do in life. And if you have fears for things, go break down those fears. And then in the end, if you find someone, yo, Thumber, mwah,
Preach,
thank you so
brother.
much. In the end, if you find somebody, that'll be great. I should meet a babe who skis as well. It'd be nice. But, you know, if I met a babe who is willing to ski, or at least was willing to let me ski, that's all I need. I'd love to go ski with the girl, but as long as I can ski, I'm happy. Fear of blood, became a butcher. Way to face your fears. Happy self is your best self. It's truth, man. It's truth. Come to Utah, everybody likes to go skiing. That's true. This will totally be on YouTube right next to how to be happy in life. I kind of want to just do a week. I want to do a week of happy talks. I mean, we're always talking happiness in this stream anyways. But I kind of want to do a week, a 7-day, 7 stream, 5 stream, I don't know, something like that. Hey, Silent. Something like that. To just bring everybody in and just say, hey, this is the game plan. We're gonna set out a life plan of how to be happy. And then we'll check in on that a year later and see how everybody's doing. Positivity, baby, let's go! Way too much happy, need more morbid. All right, well, the next week after, we'll do a morbid week where we talk about how to be sad. Does that make you feel better? Is that what you were hoping for? Ouch. Quit it. Quit it. So, I want to write out an agenda, a schedule, make a PowerPoint. Real men cry and wet the bed. Maybe not the wet the bed part. You know what? If you want to wet the bed, you wet the bed. You do you. Don't let me tell you how.
Fresh meat.
What up, Dragon Eyes? Thank you so much. Also, it's prisoner. Mwah! A kiss for you. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Seeing a completed hardcore hell run would make people happy. You know, it would make me happy too. It would make me happy too. You say snowboarding and skiing is too expensive to get into. I will say this, because that was my thoughts as well. That was my thoughts as well. You take a year ago, a year and a half ago, Alex. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Alex. That's my name, by the way, for those who are like, who's Alex? The The heck is he talking about? Is that his lover or something? No. Alex is me. I was there. I was doing the thing you were doing. I was saving the money. I was saving all the money. What up? How you doing, Frost? And I wasn't trying new things. And somebody said, hey, you should try skiing. I think you would love it. And I went, skiing's cold. Skiing's expensive. That sounds like I would hate it. Backless.
Fresh meat.
Mwah. Okay, if I post the fire post here, yeah, you can do that. How long if you want, you can do that. And then I had an epiphany. And I wrote a post that Hey Long is putting in chat called Build the Life You Want and Then Save for It. And basically I said, all right, I'm going to spend a year where I'm going to actually spend some money to go try new things. And I'm going to let my friends decide what we go do. And I'm going to not say no. And my first friend came to me. And there's that post if you want to read it. My first friend came to me and said, I want to learn how to scuba dive. And I want somebody to scuba dive with. And my biggest fear in the world was the ocean and sharks. And I said to myself, well, Mr. Llama, well, this seems like exactly what you need to you're doing this for. This seems like exactly what you're doing this for. Right? Shark Week stream. And so I said, all right, you know what? That's fine. Let's do it. So I went and I got scuba certified. And then the instructor was like, hey, let's go down to Grand Cayman Islands. And we'll do our certification dives there and then a bunch of other dives. We have a whole dive trip going. And I was like, all right. And so, you know, at every stage, let me just state, at every stage of this, I was crapping my pants. Because once again, this was like the biggest fear that I had in life. Up to this point. And so I was like, all right, let's go. I'm super excited. And we went down there and we did some dives and it was crazy and it was beautiful. And it was expensive too, right? I mean, I had to drop a little bit of cash, but I had saved up some money and I had told myself I'm going to spend some money to go try new things, right? That was the whole point. The whole point, because I was sitting there and I wasn't happy despite having been saving my money before. So I figured, you know, I need to change something, right? If you're not happy, change something. If you keep doing the same stuff, you're not going to be happy. You have to adjust things, right? So I went and dove down and it was gorgeous and it was challenging. And later on in the, like on the third or fourth day, probably like the third day or so, we're sitting there and they pull up to a site and they go, all right, let's dive out. We got a fun surprise. And they did this. I was like, hold up, what are you doing? Because that is the symbol for sharks. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, we found some sharkies. This is a good shark spot. You'll often see sharks down here. And I was like, well, why are we stopping then? I've always been taught shark in water, get out of water. And they were advocating shark in water. Let's go look at it. which was a little bit of a thing to get used to there. And so we went and we dove down, and sure enough, swear to God, within 20 seconds of diving, we're still on our descent. I look ahead of me, and there's a reef shark just swimming around, probably about 2.2 meters or so long, just swimming around below us. And I'm freaking out. In my like mind a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So I'm like staying behind my dive partner the whole time, and whatever. But sure enough, we go up and we're just going around, and the shark's just checking, you know, just checking us out, kind of circling. And nice, second way. Just circling, but not in a threatening way. Sometimes he'll turn and come at you, and then you like freak out, and then he'll turn away, and oh my gosh, it was the craziest thing. And I will tell you the epiphany thingy that I had while I was down there. I thought to myself, I would rather die down here at the hands of this shark than have always lived in fear of ever diving down here. That was what went through my mind at that point. Oh my gosh, this is really scary. Hold up. Oh my God, that's so bad. I thought I would rather have done this and have something go wrong than lived in fear for the rest of my life of this happening. And that right there was something. Yeah, slight clench. Sorry, guys. That right there was something that I've taken with me for the rest of time. That's something that I have continued to take and use and think about for the rest of any time anything comes up that I'm fearful of. That's obviously within reason, right? Like, I'm afraid to jump off a bridge without a harness or any bungee. Yeah, I mean, don't be silly. But the point was, I sat there and it was a whole Simo kisses to you, thank you so much.
Go llama.
And it was a whole shift in my mindset that I'd never had before. Oh God. So when I die, feed me to the sharks. That's right. But no, it was a whole shift in my mindset that I thought, oh, jeez. And so anytime I've gone anywhere, whether it's trying a new food, and now especially things like things that could maybe potentially be scary, whatever it is, I can always look back and say, one, nothing is scarier than being 3 feet away from a shark for me, right? Nothing was scarier than that. And two, I don't need any of those. Two, that worked out, right? That was in my head. And I trusted the guides and the people around me that were more experienced and dove every single day, and thought, maybe I don't know everything, and maybe I need to sometimes accept that and just kind of have some trust in others, right? So that was a big moment for me, right? That was a big moment for me. And then from there, I went and tried other things. And I'll say the first thing. You've been up there, yeah. Go to sleep. Oh my gosh, have a good night. So the first thing that I did kind of beyond that or whatever. Did I get 98? Almost. But not quite. Was I started thinking about trying new things, right? And after I scuba dived, I learned, wow, this was such an amazing experience, and scuba diving with sharks was crazy and was insane. And there's actually a YouTube video of me with the sharkies on my YouTube. But at the end of it, I learned, I don't think that it's worth the money for me. I think that maybe I'll dive every now and then, occasionally, but I don't want to become a diver. I don't want to go diving all the time, right? The people I was diving with dove all the time, all day. I mean, they dove 3-4 times a year. They loved it. They went and did all these crazy dive trips, all sorts of things. And how much was it? I mean, the thing is, you have all your gear. You have to pay for all of your, like, you know, for your dives, each dive that you do. If you're renting things, you have to do that. The trip to get somewhere. It's a very expensive thing. It really was. I mean, for my dive trip, I probably paid about $2,000. But we did a lot of diving. That was a pretty good deal. That included all the hotel and everything like that. And we were there for a week on the beach. So, you know, that was pretty worth it. But yeah, you know, that wasn't counting paying for the gear. Just the base gear that I bought was probably about $400. Just for my snorkel, fins, mask, you know, not counting all the other things. Like if you want to, I rented or I just borrowed a dry suit, wetsuit. Yeah, I had a wetsuit, not dry suit. You know, I just borrowed those things or rented them. And the tank and all, there's, you know, there's so many things involved in it. $400 pair of Speedos, yeah. So, you know, and that was a good deal. Like I said, that was actually a pretty decent deal that we got on and all. It's because we had a whole group and everything like that. And I looked at it at the end and I said, all right, this wasn't worth the cost for me, but I'm still glad I did it and I got a lot of revelations out of it. I'm glad I tried it. And then after that, I had somebody who wanted to go and look for ghosts. They were like, let's go ghost hunting. And I was like, I don't believe, and I was like, wait, I'm supposed to just try things. So I went with the guy and we did some like ghost hunting. And it was fun, and it was silly, and it was whatever. But it was a good time. And I got to go like spend time with this guy that I usually didn't get to spend as much time with. You know? And it was a kind of just a fun experience, right? And I was trying all sorts of things. I had someone who wanted to go learn some like dancing, so we did some of that. I had a friend who wanted to go around, do like a trip. One of my friends wanted to do a road trip around Oklahoma. And I thought, God, you couldn't pick a more boring place to do a road trip. And we came up with these things, and both of us were kind of like, this probably isn't going to be a very fun road trip. And we went whitewater rafting during it. We went and went to like these cool little shops. We did, oh my gosh, try and think what else we did during that time. We went to like a waterfall, and it ended up being like a whole state park that had like all these pools that you could like lake pool things, whatever. It was so fun. That was the first road trip I've ever done, and it was the greatest road trip ever. It was that was one of my favorite things that I tried or did. Still not faster cast rate, by the way. And you know, and all of these things were things that I would have never tried if I didn't go and try things, right? This is all stuff that if I didn't say I'm going to go try things that I thought I had this preconceived notion about whatever, then I would have never done any of these things. And it was so much fun. I mean, just so much fun to do all those. And then one friend came to me and said, all right, let's go skiing. And I was like, I don't know, because this was another one that I had thought, I don't think skiing will be that fun. Plus, it's going to be so expensive. And like, is it going to be worth all the cost, right? Because it was like, pay for the place, pay for the rentals, pay for the flights, all that stuff. And they literally said, I thought you were doing a year of yes. That's what I called it, a year of yes. So I thought you were doing a year of yes. And I was like, all right, well, you're going to call me out on my crap. I guess I'll do it. And so I went on the ski trip. And I had one of the best times I've ever had. It was so much fun that I said to myself, this is something that I want to do more often in the future. Like, no matter what, I don't care that it costs money. I will work longer. I will do whatever if I can keep coming out and doing this. And I went and I bought skis and I bought boots. The next like week, I bought all the gear, and I booked another ski trip for a month later because I was like, there's still time. We can still get more skiing in. It was like March, and I was like, I'll book one for start of April. I don't care. I just want to ski. And so I did, and I went skiing again. And it was the most fun ever, and I loved it. And I've got ski videos up on my YouTube as well, though they're not great quality, but whatever. But it was one of those things that once again I looked at and I thought, you know, this is something I never would have done. I should have got the ring from Ormus. This is something I never would have done, right? If I hadn't pushed myself outside of my comfort zone and outside my box and tried to just live this life and figure out what I want to do in life. Do I hit trees? No, I go between the trees. And I've already gone skiing once this year, and I'm going to go skiing again this year. And I have a season pass this year as well. That's how much I love it. But that's something that I had to find. That was something that I had to dig for and find. And push myself a little bit to get to that point, you know? Where do I go ski? Out in Colorado. I've got Winter Park and Copper coming up. Actually, let's just go down here. So I started to, as I wrote in my thing, I started to build the life that I wanted first. And then save for it later. And obviously I saved some money up to make this possible. I wasn't just going at it completely broke, but I was learning what I wanted in life rather than pretending I knew everything I wanted in life before I even tried it, right? And, oh no, wait, oh yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I didn't set TP. And that was something that I had to, let's double row this actually. We can get another row rune later. And from all of that, I became such a happier person. Such a happier person. And now I have so much joy to hopefully share with others. Because when you have joy, all you want to do is see other people have joy as well. Ouch. Give me that. Okay. Mana potions? Yikes. Not great. So. That is where we are at now. And that is why I highly encourage anybody to at least try things. Because like I said, gosh darn. That's so bad. There's like nothing good about that. Oy, rough. I always encourage you to at least give things a try. Even if you think you won't like it, give it a try. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you end up hating it. But that's fine. At least you know. You know? At least you have that knowledge now. And the more that you learn about yourself through that, the happier you'll be. Paintball trip next time? I would love to go paintballing. I have never gone paintballing. I've always wanted to.